Dragonic Novel Vog on his own is okay. He is not weak, but he is not too strong either. His 13k base is super helpful, and his field nuke ability is extremely satisfying, especially if you have units that gain power from it. He is further elevated by his own supporting crew. The Novel boy band is collectively strong despite being nerfed compared to their TCG counterparts. To be fair, they were busted as hell, and their hyper consistency led to Conroe being banned as a starter for more than 3 years. In this video, we'll talk about what makes them good, the challenges of the DOTE deck you'll put them in, and how to go around them. Well, for me, what makes Novel Vog absolutely good is he prevents miracle comeback heals. During your turn, if you or your opponent is at 5 damage, all trigger effects will be nullified, which means no power bonus, no draws, and no goddamn heals. You can also cheat this ability by using damage adders. Nullifying trigger bonuses is extremely valuable in Zero. If your opponent is at 4 damage, he can no longer rely on the power bonus given by a potential trigger check, making it easier for you to hit magic numbers. In all of my experience in Zero, the opponent has healed at 5 or 6 damage more times than the subscribers I have, and I went on hiatus for 6 months. That feeling of knowing that the opponent has no way to come back when he takes that 6 damage is extremely good. It feels so good. Even more so when he checks that 6 damage and it turns out to be a heal trigger. So f*** you, Psyqualia. Novel Vog's Persona Break literally nukes your opponent's field into oblivion. And finally, his 13k body will help you fend off attacks more easily, especially when you ride him early. We'll talk about this strategy later. First, we have his retainers. Novel Roman Dragon, whose name literally translates to New Novel, has the ability that when he's placed, you can return Dragonic Novel Vog from your hand to the deck and search for a grade 3 unit of your choice, provided that your Vanguard is grade 2 or less. This ability will help you be more consistent with your grade 3 rides. It will also help you fetch Dauntless Drive Dragon, copies of the End, or even regular Overlord. This is the reason why you always see Novel as the heal trigger of the deck. The caveat for this ability is that once you reach grade 3, Novel Roman Dragon becomes a 7k vanilla, which makes him the perfect fodder for Gojo, Kersey, or Ermo. Next we have is Novel Critic Dragon, whose name translates to New Critic. When he is placed, you can pay Counterblast 1 to retire any rearguard as long as your Vanguard is Novel or you have him on your hand. The game will not reveal the Novel Vog on the hand, but instead just proc the skill. So if your Vanguard is not Novel or you don't have a copy on hand, he's just another vanilla card, like Gem Knight Garnet. For the decks, the Novel Boy Band is an easy nope for Seal Dragons, as Seal Dragons require Seal Dragons. Novel Vog is kind of a win more card, and is not really needed. You have a strong enough finisher in Blockade Inferno, and there is a risk of messing with your consistency if you add Novel Vog. If you have a Seal Dragon and Novel decklist which works, please share it with me in the comment section. For Overlords, as I've mentioned before, the Novel Boy Band will help you fetch the grade 3s you need, especially extra copies of the End. For me, Dauntless is still a bit meh right now because of the hefty discard 3 requirement. Fortunately, in Japan, he has already been buffed to only require you to discard 2, but we don't have that yet. The challenge of an Overlord Novel Vog deck is that it heavily relies on fishing other units, so there is a risk of breaking. Thankfully, Gojo, Ermo, and Conroe, as well as running draw triggers, will help you solve this problem. Another challenge you'll face is that most of the skills you pay are CB2. Overlord Regular and Novel Vog himself require CB3. So be wary of your opponent trying to deny you of counterblasts. You can work around this issue thanks to Bellicosity Dragon who can countercharge. Stricken is still useful as a pseudo break ride during the early game. Outside of that, he is a good 10k vanilla rearguard. Now, in place of Dauntless Drive, I would go for Cruel Dragon and run a Turbo Novel engine. Aside from riding Novel as soon as possible, the goal is to retire for cheap with priority to the back row so that the 13k base holds longer. So, let's talk about Cruel Dragon. Cruel Dragon is the key to your Turbo Ride engine. His hand effect is that when you retire a unit in the main phase, you can rest your grade 2 or greater Vanguard to ride him as stand. If you roll the grade 2 unit, draw a card. Do note that the superior ride skill does not have an auto timing. As long as a unit was retired during the main phase, his skill will be active regardless of what you do after the retire happened. So for example, if you go first upon riding your grade 2, you can snipe the opponent's starter with Novel Critic or Berserk or Kimnara, use Novel Roman to fetch him, and then use the superior ride skill. Use him to ride on top of Stricken, so you won't have to wait a turn to gain the crit. His limit break, when he attacks a Vanguard, you can pay Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1 to retire an opponent's rear guard. You can add gainers to the deck to take advantage of the retire. Next, we have Demonic Dragon Mage Kimnara. Kimnara can snipe back row grade 1 rear guards. The ideal targets are Dorint and Bruno, but in general, his main function is to activate the superior ride. Again, I will mention Gojo, Kersey, and Ermo because they help you fish the units you need. I hope you enjoyed the spotlight video for Novel Vog. If you like this video, please smash that like button. I would also appreciate it if you subscribe. You can check out my other videos as well, such as the spotlight video for Minerva and Spike Brothers. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.